Hey, everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes so people can be on while I look up something amazing. Okay. There it is. There it is. Okay, so we've got 1 more minute. So I'm just going to keep on holding for 1 more minute. And I'm sorry the lighting's not super good in here, but it will get good. Hey, Jenna, so I just saw that you sent me a link. So if I click it, it just is waiting for Jenna. So is it going to be like a live Google thing? Yes, Emily, it's going to be a live Google thing. Okay, so before I start, you guys, I just want to tell a little bit about myself. And I know that some of you guys have been watching this on a recording and some of you might be live. But Emily Gannett talked with me a little bit about what she wanted. Now, I was reading a book the other day, and I'm actually going to share a little bit of that book because I felt like it was so incredible. And I learned something that was, honestly, I feel like life-changing for me. I feel like a lot of times we allow things I'm just going to try and get this in the right angle so you guys can see a little bit better without dropping my computer. That would be great. That's a little bit better. Okay. So there's a couple different things I wanted to talk about. But first, you guys, I want to tell you about me. So when I started my Mary Kay business, I was just barely 23. I was a college student. I was working 16 credit hours. I was taking 16 credits and I was working 20 hours a week. And when I came into my Mary Kay business, I really just thought, what harm could it do? I thought, what harm could it do? I'll see how I do, and we'll kind of go from there. And then what changed was when I started working my business, I started to fall in love with my business. And I very quickly, I never missed meeting. I really connected to things that I understood. I started listening to Hotline every single day, and I texted my director every single day. And what that did, that created a really great place for us to be able to bond and a really great place for us to be able to meet and get to know each other, because my sales director had a lot of other DIQs that she was working with. DIQ means director and qualification, and she had Stacy and Nola both becoming sales directors at that point. I'm actually at Stacy's house right now. So the cool thing is that flexibility with the business, you can work your business anywhere you go, and I think that is a really, really, really neat thing. So, as far as my story goes, it's a lot like yours, you guys. My story is a lot like yours. No matter where you started, usually there was something about Mary Kay that just made you think, okay, so I need something, something about Mary Kay made you think and made you process that maybe this would be a good thing for you. And that's why you're here, is because something about Mary Kay tweaks something in your brain that says, I need something different. So if you've ever questioned why you started Mary Kay business, if you should still be in Mary Kay, blah, 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 obviously you should. Otherwise you wouldn't have signed. And that's how I really felt. My dad is an entrepreneur. He owns a furniture store, and so I grew up finding new stores and huge things. I grew up putting hours and hours working at 6 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock at night, and I knew the hours that he put in. But the difference is I saw an excitement and a love in my dad that I didn't see in a lot of people who went to 9-to-5 jobs. And so I always secretively wanted a little or big business. I wanted a business. I did not think I would be a Mary Kay girl. I didn't wear makeup. I didn't wash my face. I washed my face with shampoo and like hand soap and like whatever I had in the bathroom. And I really didn't care. I really could care less. Now, when I went to my facial, you guys never underestimate the power of a facial and the power of your relationship with that person that you're with, because the power of that relationship is so important. I want to make sure that I have sound. So do I have sound? Anyone that's watching right now? Let's see. Hey, Emily, yes, it is live right now. So you can send that link to them and it will be completely live right this very second. So yes, that's why I sent it to my women, just in case any of your women were on there so that they could watch it. So yes, go ahead and send it to your unit. Isn't this so cute, you guys? Isn't that so cute? It's a little perfume bottle. Someone's like, what's that? I'm like, perfume. Even though, it's whatever. I just thought it was cute. Now, I don't know if anyone else is watching in my unit, but I did send out to my unit. So shout out to my girls in my unit. Woo woo! Shout out to girls in the MAD unit. Woo woo! All around, you guys. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun that we can have all this like all around, and happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas coming up. And oh my gosh, it's so fun. So this is actually the month, you guys, I don't know if you knew, but November was the month that I wrapped up my very first car 4 years ago. It was in November, and December was my third month of DIQ, which means director in qualification. And so I submitted for DIQ in October 1st. I went to retreat. They had to be a DIQ to go to retreat. And I was like, oh, heck yeah, that's happening. And I bought my ticket and I went there and I was a DIQ. And I was nervous to have leadership. I was nervous to grow, but I didn't think so much about it. And Jen always said, don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. And you guys, I needed something more than leadership. I needed money. I liked the grind of the daily grind. I loved learning how to build stronger confidence and stronger business skills. And I just liked working my business. And so naturally, when you work your business, you're going to have more success and you will become a leader in this company. Okay, so when I first started, I held 3 appointments every single week. I never, ever, ever missed a meeting. And I really only worked 3 to 7 hours a week. That's it. And I made anywhere from $50 a week to $300 profit every single week, which is great. I was in college. I didn't need a lot of money. I needed a little bit, but I didn't need like a whole bunch of it. And so money wasn't a huge factor for me. I held no interviews I held maybe 3 interviews my first 3 months in Mary Kay. And so I had a lot of flat tires in my business. And if you guys listened to my hotline the other day, you would have heard that. So I had a lot of flat tires in my business. And Jen always constantly just cheered me on. She was so, she cheered me on. And the great thing is she never really shared, Jen, you're going to be a sales director. You're going to be a sales director. She just kind of around the clock kind of showed me everyone that was doing stuff. And I was so excited. So I went to seminar, y'all. I went to seminar. I did have a 3,600. I had a full store within my first month, and I went to seminar at the same time. I took out a loan to go to seminar. But you guys, my work pattern was connecting to that. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to go. And so for me, investing to go to seminar, in my brain, I was like, why wouldn't I do that? I'm going to invest to go on these company trainings. But you guys, I'm also not necessarily the girlfriend type person, but I knew that the leaders in this company were going there. And so I was like, okay, I need to go there then. So the fact that, all of our DIQs get to come to New Orleans with us in January is huge. It's huge. I missed the trip when I was wanting to finish directorship to come to, where are we going? Los Angeles, LA. All the girls were going to LA for the director trip and the director meeting. And I missed directorship. I didn't. So I was director this month 4 years ago. I was in DIQ. And then in January, I was trying to wrap up becoming a director this month so I could go to LA with my, my senior Jen Kirkham and Stacy Lawrenson and Nola. And I was so devastated when I didn't get it. You guys, I bought my plane ticket to LA. I bought my plane ticket. I was able to transfer it over and spend it for her to the next seminar, but I bought my plane ticket. I was committed to being done. Now, how many of you say you're going to do this and say you're going to do this, but you're just flat out not committed? And I was really grateful that I just didn't know enough to say something I wasn't committed to, because I was like, I don't know, I'll just do it. And the great thing that always held me to, I'm going to tell you my secret. My secret for working my business was 3 + 3 + 3. What does that mean? It means 3 parties every single week. It means 3 interviews with your sales director every single week, separate from your party. You guys, it's important to build the layering, to book another appointment with yourself, and to really be on purpose. Now, if you're nervous of how I'm going to watch kids, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do this, if you are not willing to put 12 to 15 hours of work every single week, then please do not look at becoming a sales director. I'm just going to say that, okay? If you're not looking at putting at least 12 to 15 hours of face-to-face time with people every single week, Please do not look at being a sales director, because you have to work those hours to be a successful sales director. Now, 10 of those hours are behind the scenes, and the 12 to 15 are in face, person to person, doing interviews, doing parties, doing, like party making, income producing activities. Okay. So hopefully that doesn't burst your bubbles, but honestly, hopefully it gives you some like actual truth of what you can be frustrated with and what you can't be frustrated with. Can't be frustrated if you're only working 5 hours and you're like, I'm being a sales director, it's just going to magically happen. No, it's actually not going to magically happen. Just saying. Okay. Because you won't want it to happen. You want the income to come along with the sales director. Okay. So I found out from the very beginning, if I did 3 + 3 + 3, I felt like if I did any kind of 3 + 3 + 3, it would build my confidence. So instead of holding 3 parties, I held 3 appointments a week. Okay, which is why I was 3 to 7 hours a week. Some was a party, a facial, a double facial, a party, an interview, a facial. I didn't count my my meeting because I never brought guests to meeting. I was super not smart, and I didn't bring guests to meetings ever, because I wanted my time to be trained. I didn't want to focus on anyone. And that was something I had to learn, because why would I want to bring guests where my sales director was there and I could learn and I could, earn while I learn? It was really, really smart. If I could book more people, and if you're limited on time, that's a great place to do, is book 3 and 4 parties at one meeting, and then be really prepared and plan for those parties, make goodie bags for them, get excited, clean your mirrors and trays, call them, really take care of them. They're not just going to come up, bring people if you're not willing to really take care of them. And the moment you're calling them to book them for a party, you're training them to be a consultant at the same time. The best training you could ever give anyone is the example that you gave them at your party that you did with them. At a party, not, oh, I just interviewed her because I wanted to do my pearls of sharing. No, facial her, then interview her, then book another party with her, give her a referral discount. If she refers someone to you that becomes an active working consultant, you can say, I'll give you $50 in free Mary Kay products. Because that's what I've done. I've given 3 of those away, and all of those customers are still with me. So it's really important that you really play into how you work the business logically, correctly, the way Mary Kay taught us, which was always, holding your parties, picking 2 people, 2 from every party that you held, and sharing the business opportunity with them within 48 hours. I was booked after a party at an interview. Every single one of the sales directors was, this is like kind of slowing down here. Maybe I'll turn my thing off. But every single one of my every single one of our sales directors, I know for a fact, came from a party. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna look at that because my face is going slow. A little bit hot in here. Okay. So okay, there was something I wanted to share. So you guys, I started my business. Obviously, a lot of you know my story. I fell in love with what I was doing. I fell in love with everything about this company. And I really felt like it was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so what I chose to do is, when I came to Portland, I really felt grateful for my sales director. And I felt like, okay, so I need to take this a little bit more serious. I quit my job working for my dad as his store manager, and I lost my company car, lost my company cell phone, and I had to start paying for different things. Well, it was that moment that I decided, do I want to go back to work at a regular job? Is that what I want to do? Because if that's what I want to do, then I don't need to, you know what I mean? And so my sales director said, Jana, you have a job, now work it. So you guys, I bought my brother's car for $2,000. I had taken out a loan, and I'd put away $3,000 for my loan, and the other loan was for my inventory. And I had $3,000 left. I took $2,000 and I bought me a junker car. I said, I need it to make this work, because, and you guys, it wasn't hard. That's the other thing, is I feel like a lot of us are things that are or things that are in our brains really hard when they're really not. They're just hard because you haven't decided if it's important yet. So it's only hard that you can't work around your kids because you haven't decided that it's important yet. It's only hard that you have an unsupportive husband because you haven't decided that this business is really the best thing for your family. And I feel like a lot of times we just don't decide that it's important, and we let that excuse be the reason why we're not willing to work. When in reality, if you make money, you can earn a car. When you make money, a husband's more supportive. when you make money, you can pay for a babysitter with less worries of if you can afford them again. Like everything, you know, money does not bring happiness to your life, but it sure gives you a lot more choices. And you guys, at 23 years old, I didn't have a lot of choices because I didn't have a lot of money, but I didn't have a lot to lose either. And so I was willing to do what it took. Now, as I gained more within the next few years, I earned a car, my first car, my second car, became a sales director. Or became sales director in my second car. Then that first year became the youngest Cadillac sales director in all of Idaho with our pink Cadillac. Emily Call was a huge push towards that first pink Cadillac and everyone that was first in her unit. And you guys, and then she earned her second car, first and second car, very, very quickly. And I know that you guys are in the process of earning your first car again. And the cool thing about that is you get to be the pillar stones of something magnificent. And you get to be the groundbreaking experience of a new birth. And I feel like that's really cool. When we earned our Cadillac again, it was so exciting because our unit was new. Our unit was brand new. And every time a Cadillac is birthed, you have an offspring ready to come. So the women that are watching, you know, what are you wanting to do in your business and where are you wanting to go? You want to match that goal with your work pattern, be able to really match it. And if you're wanting more, you have to be willing to put the work in. You have to be willing to see the faces, because honestly, there are women praying for you right now, absolutely praying for you. Every morning, every night, praying for you to have guts to knock on your neighbor's door, to have courage to meet the women and the families that your husband works with, to meet this girl from the school, you know, to meet the girl that you see at the bus station. You know, you never know. People are praying for an opportunity to make money, flexibility, freedom, finances, friends, and fun. Those are the 5 main reasons that anyone would start a Mary Kay business. And so for me, that passion of what Mary Kay became for me was everything. It gave me an identity. It really made me push and say, who am I? What do I stand for? And why is Mary Kay important to me? Is it just something I make money with, or is it something that's going to carry me through the hard times? Am I going to carry my heart through the hard times of Mary Kay? Am I willing to grow? Am I willing to push myself through something hard and say, okay, I can't work for these 5 months? You guys, if I was a sales director, you can't take a year off. You know, if you do, well, I guess you could, and it's kind of like you get paid for the work you've done, and it'll kind of carry you for a while. But there's only so long you can do that before you really feel like, you're not going anywhere, or you're drowning, or you're frustrated. And some of you right now are feeling that way. I'm frustrated, I'm irritated. Well, you guys, it's because you spend way more time worrying about everything that you're not doing right or whatever, or worrying about, well, I don't want to tell my sales director this because if she knew, she won't think I'm great, and blah, blah, blah. Y'all, this is a business. And if you hired yourself, would you fire yourself right now? Or would you work with yourself? The only way a sales director can work with you is if you allow them to get to know you. And it's really crucial, as awkward feeling as it is, you guys, reach up to your sales director. Reach up to Emily. I know her. Her heart is bigger than anything you'd ever know. She is so willing to jump out and jump in her car and come and meet you. I know that she gives her full heart. And so when you have an opportunity to be with her, and when she has an opportunity to be with you, it is crucial. You never know what you'll teach your sales director until you spend time with her. And then you'll notice, she'll be like, wow, you're teaching me. I told Emily all the time, my gosh, Emily, I didn't teach you that. I didn't teach you that. And she's so good at having all these ideas and connecting them and really making those ideas and connecting them and taking Mary Kay's vision. And so you guys, that's so important for you. It's so important for you to decide, what am I doing Mary Kay for? And what is holding me back? And why am I allowing that to hold me back right now? Now, if something, because sometimes life can happen, and really hard life can happen. And if you are okay financially with letting life happen for a certain period of time without working Mary Kay, then don't feel guilty. Then love what you're doing and do what you love. But if you know, I have life happening. I have a consultant that used to be in my unit that just told me that her father passed away 3 days ago. And I said, I'm so sorry. Now, you guys, if most people, if something happened, they would have to still go to work. They would still have to go to work. Obviously, in one reason, because the employer would fire them if they didn't show up for more than maybe 1 day off. And the other thing is, you still have bills to pay. And so, you guys, being a single woman, I have understood that no matter what happens in my life, no one is going to pay my bills for me. If I have a devastating week or something happens to me, I have to get out of it quick. Does that mean it's not important? Does that mean I'm not hurting? Does that mean I'm not feeling what's going on in my life? Absolutely not. I do feel it, but I give a lot of it to God, and I say, God, please take that from. Just help me. I'm here for a reason. You have me here for a reason. I'm here to serve. So please help me do what I'm doing, and bless my heart to be in the right place. Help me to really truly bless these women that are in front of me, because as I'm blessing these women, please have that in some way bless this person that I love, or bless my family to help us heal. Now, there's sometimes you're just going to have to, you need to take some things off. But something my dad always taught me was service is the greatest thing to heal a broken heart. And service is the greatest thing to get you to make you truly happy. And I believe that. I mean, serving someone else makes me so happy. And I love my Mary Kay business because I'm serving someone. And you guys, some of you don't know, I served a mission for my church for 18 months. And my whole purpose was serving those people around me. And I absolutely loved serving them. And Mary Kay, that part of Mary Kay, I always knew. I paid a lot of money to go on my mission. It was about like $7,000 to go serve a mission for 18 months, you guys, and I paid for a quarter of that. And I also paid for my schooling. I paid for a lot of, like, everything that I did. And when I came home, what you guys don't know is I became completely self-sufficient. When I told my dad I wasn't going to work for him anymore, I was going to do Mary Kay. And it was a hard thing for a dad to do, to take away a truck and take away a company vehicle, because I wasn't going to be a store manager anymore. But it was something that I knew needed to happen, because I knew I needed to break off those things that held me back. And that was one of them, was the security of other people taking care of me. And I needed to know that I could do it myself, and that I was good enough to do it myself, that I deserved a home, that I deserve this. Now, each one of you, I want you to know, okay, grabbing her face just like Mary Kay Ashwood, you deserve greatness. You deserve so much greatness. You deserve everything good in life, and other people around you deserve to have you in their life too. They absolutely deserve to have you in their life too. So please don't underestimate the power that you have as being a daughter of the Most High God, no matter who you are, of being having a designed vision and a designed passion, but also a designed purpose. You're so special. You're so unique. Don't doubt that. Don't be confused by where your numbers are at or where this is. What will help you with that is this business is mathematical. Don't think, yes, you're growing. It's 85% in your head. But if you don't do that 15%, the 85 will not get you where you need to be. You need to have both. You need to be booking those parties. You need to be holding those parties, as well as building yourself and not shooting yourself in the foot. When you have both of these working really well, attitude, building it, educating yourself, and doing the work, practicing, and putting these together, you will have great success in this business, and you will reach the next levels of leadership, and you will become a sales director. You absolutely will become a sales director. Only 3% of Mary Kay are willing to truly do this both and learn how to do it together. Learn how to work through absolute crises in your life and understand how you can work through it and what you can do. Reaching to your sales director, or knowing that it's not you being unthoughtful or uncaring, it's you working around it, and you being sometimes just tired, but you still do a party because you know what your ultimate vision is. It's not just a hobby for you. It's not just a passing story. It's not just a passing job. It is a future for you and your family and your children. And it shows people more about who you are when you conquer and you work your business through trial and tribulation than it ever will when everything is going right. Anyone can be happy when that bills are paid. Anyone can be happy when everything's going great. Anyone can be happy when they have their health. Anyone can be happy when they've got everything going for them. The true courage happens when things fall apart, when life is going crazy, when you feel like you're drowning, and when you feel like nothing is happening. That is when courage happens. That is when only 3% of the population choose to be happy and choose to have vision and choose to believe that they can have more in their life. That is where the champion is found. And I truly do thank the Lord every day that we get to press restart every single day. Restart, restart. I will not be a victim. I will not be a victim. I choose to be a victor. Now, you guys, I love that. Every morning you can choose to be a victim or you choose to be a victor. And if you don't know, you need to talk to someone that you truly love and you're willing to hear their response and ask them, do I take a victim way out of life? Or do you feel like I'm a victor? And be willing and ready to hear what they have to say. But if you're not willing to hear what they say and you're going to rebuttal, don't ask them. Don't ask them. It's not fair. I'm going to share one last thing because my time is almost up. You guys, there was a story that I was reading and it's called The Athlete's Gym. It's an awesome book. It's called The Athlete's Gym. I'm only on like the very first 30 or 50 pages and it's amazing. And one of them was about, I'll show you. One of them was so awesome because it has this thing. Human performance curve. Okay. So, it is so cool, you guys. One side is performance and the other side is your stress level or your arousal. Okay, so how they talked about this was they told a story of a young man and he came into this athlete thing and he was I don't know any of the sports terminology. So sports fans out there, I'm so sorry. And he was a rookie and he was a hot shot and they thought he was going to be awesome, but he was making thousands when he should have been making millions and he was only making thousands. And so they said, what is going on with him? And this guy came in and talked to him and said, what's going on with you? And he says, I get so excited that when I'm out there, like I'll overshoot the goal or I'll do this and I just get way too excited, and I just get way too excited. And the way this works is the stress level is also the arousal level, how quickly you can get excited. And for me, I'm a very excited personality. Emily, a very excited personality. And some of you are a very excited personality, you have a lot of energy. And so the first little bit, the first couple ones is your calmness. You're super calm. And then it's stress right in the middle where it's the highest. Okay. So right there where it's the highest. This is the one where it's, I'm just super stressed. Okay. And the last one is distressed. Okay. Fatigue, exhaustion, breakdown, burnout, aim to keep employees at this performing level is optical performance is energized, focused, works well, effortless. The stress level is minimal. It's like medium. Okay. So you've got enough stress on that's going on in your life, but it's not an overload. At the same time, your peak performance is right there as well. So what he said is you need to know where your numbers are because some of you, your peak performance is maybe when you're crazy busy and you actually have a push that you have to get this done and then you'll finally go do it. Maybe that's your peak performance, but then you completely burn out after that. So what he said was right before a performance, because he would get way too excited and then he would overshoot the games, he would overshoot this and he couldn't do it. And he would lose and he was, going off sides and all this different stuff. And so he came in and said, let's talk about this. He says, when you feel like you're performing your very, very best, like, where's your number? He says, I think like a 6 or a 7. He said, okay, what about for you? He said something like when you don't perform well, he says, when I'm at a 5. And he says, okay, so let's talk about that. It says, before you go into a game, let's calm you down. Okay. He says, when you go to game, he says, when you go to game, what number are you? And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm like at a 10 or 11. I'm like so excited. He's like, okay, so let's get you in the middle. He says, so he gave a couple of tips and I really love this. And one of the tips was, why don't you listen to some calming music? Plug in your earbuds, listen to some calming music, calm yourself down, get yourself down, so that you can be at that mid-level so you can really focus. And I thought that was so awesome, you guys. And when I held parties, I would get so nervous. I still sometimes get so nervous. What I chose to do is I watched a lot of other people, no matter where there was. I watched my one of my consultants, Chessa Holthouse, who's been holding parties for 3.5 years, or 4 years now, hold her party, and it was just kind of like in the middle of nonchalant. And so I was like, oh my gosh, aren't you nervous? She's like, no, I got everything. And so for me, I realized that as I was watching people and seeing how they held their parties, I knew that I needed to be prepared because that helped me feel a lot better about things. I knew I needed to have everything locked up in my car, and I knew that I needed to have everything ready to go rather than saving it all for the end. So I usually like to get ready the day before. I like to have all my parties like kind of together. I like to have them like back to back. I used to like them like apart, but I used to hold, 5 to 7 appointments every single every single week. And so for me, what I realized is I listened to a lot of music. I had a lot of drive time. And when I had my drive time, I was able to calm down because my excitement was so high and I was so excited. And so while I was had my drive time and my time to decompress, I listened to my pump up music, but it wasn't like blah, 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 blah. It was more inspirational. It was The Climb by Miley Cyrus. It was, all kinds of songs that I had on my playlist, and I listened to my songs every time I went to a party. Before I went to a party, I always prayed this prayer. I said, God, please help me to be efficient and effective. You know my goals. I never wanted to stunt what he wanted from me, because I was like, I don't want to say help me have $1,000 party because he might want me to have a $2,000 party. So I said, okay, just help me be efficient and effective. So that's what I chose to do, and it was a really cool thing. I would pray every time. Once I got back in my car, I'd pray again. When I would worry right now, when my heartbeat gets up and I get nervous to answer a phone or do this, I always say these words: all good things happen to me. 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 All good things happen to me, And so I would say these things. So these are all little tricks that can get me down to my number. My solid number is probably, when I do my very best, I would probably say probably a 7 or an 8 is my performance peak, because I already am a really high performing, energetic person. But probably 7 to 8 is when I'm performing at my top peak. But a 10, and I would agree, I'm like a 10 to a 12 when I'm excited or stressed in something. And I'm a little bit more of a stressing personality, and so bringing that level down. When I'm at a party, it's higher, but when I'm holding on other things, it has to be down at like a 5 or a 6 or a 7, if I'm booking or whatever. So I calm myself down. I get excited. Maybe I'll start booking with maybe some text messages and then move on to calling. But once I get something excited, I go back up. I'm at a 7 to an 8, and I'm boom, 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 boom. Everything turns to gold. So that's my peak performance level, okay? So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you, just a little cute thing. And the last one is, you're seeing improvement at the very beginning. You're calm. So when you're calm, you can see improvement until your stress level might be, it's medium. But your performance level is awesome. So you guys, that's all I have for you that I wanted to share with you. Have an awesome, awesome day. I hope you had an incredible Thanksgiving. I hope you have a Merry, Merry Christmas. If you have any questions, please Voxer them to me. And I love all of you. I'm so excited to see you guys. And any of you that are wanting or hoping or in your head, you want to be at seminar as a leader in this company, please, please, please take this challenge and hold those appointments. 3 parties a week. Parties meaning at least 3 to 5 people per party. 3 interviews separate from your stuff, separate every single week, and $300 in sales consistently every single week. Do that for the next 6 months, you guys. I promise. It only took me 6 months to earn my car, 9 months to become a sales director, 12 months to earn my second car, 24 months to earn my Cadillac, and 2 years after that to earn my second Cadillac. Y'all, you can do anything you put your heart to. So be willing to put your heart towards something that's great. Okay, have a good day. Bye.